Well, hello, folks. I'm Eagle Spitz, gobshite punk poet, etc., etc. This is an interview with Rebecca Radical. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, love. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Not bad.
Shining, so I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, I've just been down to Sumac, which is one of our main venues at Punk for Homeless, because we've got an acoustic event outside on the 24th this month.
Red Ken from Ferocious Dog, right?
Yeah, and Rich Gulag's playing with Ryan, and then Harrison Rimmer's playing as well. So
Awesome.
limited to 30 tickets, unfortunately. So then they've sold out. But
Still, any small aspect of gigs right now is you've got to lap it up, right?
yeah,
We don't even have a date right now in Scotland for anything. So
no, I mean, as much as we're desperate to get inside and put some noisy stuff on.
yeah.
So you've been involved in the punk scene for a while. Would you like to share about that?
I've actually I've been in the punk scene pretty much all of I'd say all my life. Like my dad took me to the Wicker Man Festival. Sadly it's not on anymore, but that's like a proper wee hippie festival up in Dumfries, or it used to be. And I think I was maybe 12 or something, and I seen bands like Penetration and the Dickies and Dreadzone and that was it. My brain was broke, and I just never lost my love for it. Like,
well, my introduction was when I was about 14. I walked into my parents' living room, and the Stranglers were on top of pops doing, I probably think, Go Buddy Go or something. Okay, now there's something happening now, so went out and checked, and then I've been, I always say punk rock's a life sentence.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my dad is a skinhead, so I always grew up with I mean, he's a skinhead, but he's got very wide taste of what punk is, which is why I'm so open-ended about it as well.
Oh,
but yeah, I think my favorite band was probably Toy Dolls when I was like 8 or 9 or something. I used to sing I've Got Asthma to my grand.
Yeah, a friend of mine was the original drummer. Yeah, called Dave, and he did a video a few weeks ago when Donald Trump was kicked out, and he was behind his drums singing. It changed Nelly the Elephant to Donald Trump. His bags and said goodbye to the White House.
Trump.
Yeah. So you've been playing for a bit, and your profile picture on Facebook, you're in a band as well, by the look of it.
Yeah, I've only been playing guitar, I think maybe coming up for 3 years now. I started gigging as soon as I could switch chords, pretty much, because I was super anxious, and I thought better anxious on stage than getting really good in the house and never going on stage. So
exactly, and that's what punk's about, isn't it? Just getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, I think honestly, once I got over the initial fear of it, now I'm not fearless, because I think you should be a little bit scared about doing it. You want to present something that's going to last, like what you're saying and stuff. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Well, you've definitely got to put everything into what you do.
Yeah, sorry, I started that sentence there, and then halfway through was like, nope, no idea what I was going to say.
I think you're talking about nerves and getting on stage.
Yeah, that was it. Once I got over the initial fear of it, now I'm like, does anybody want to start a band? Let's start a band for this genre. Let's start a band for this genre. Oh, you want me to do a collab sound? Let's do it. Like, I think once you get over the initial part of it, then it's just like having fun. And it doesn't matter if anybody else likes it, because as much as I make music for other people to listen to, it's for me. It's letting out whatever it is that's inside me that needs out,
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that's how I am. I remember coming from a gig we did years ago. Eagle Spitz Hex is like my industrial punk poetry project. I was walking away from a venue in Hastings, and I said to the other guy, Hex, I says, I don't care as long as one person gets what we do. I'm happy. And he said, I don't give a fuck, Eagle. If nobody likes it, I don't care. I'll just enjoy doing it.
That's what you've got to be, because if you get too hung up on people dismissing you, I'm always like, if you don't like my song, write a better one. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What is the quote? If you're not in the arena also getting your ass kicked, your opinion means very little to me.
Well, yeah, totally. I mean, I always say nobody ever built a monument to a critic.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go. Yes, all right. Go!
you do your band stuff and you do solo stuff as well.
Yeah.
And you also collaborated with Rich Gulag. I know that because I collaborated with him as well a couple of years back, about 3 years ago.
That was really cool. I messaged him actually because I'd been listening to his song Sheep, and it got my mind turning about other stuff that I could be doing. So yeah, that's out on the 23rd of this month.
Brilliant. Sheep's a great song, isn't it?
Oh, it's a banger.
But you've been collaborating with other people as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so there's a producer and poet from Dundee called the Cairngorms Young Team, and he is just totally blew my mind. Like, you can listen to one of his albums and at one point you'll be crying with laughter and the next you'll be like totally like rethinking every life decision and stuff. It's like so hard hitting, and I think that also helped me be a bit more raw with my latest lyrics. Like, I think not deliberately, but when I first started writing, I was very sort of I don't know how to word it, but I was kind of like going about the edges of what I was going to say. As much as I was still up front, it was a bit, I don't know, the new stuff feels more raw and more like from the heart. Not that the other stuff wasn't, but I hope you know what I mean.
Yeah, more straight as opposed to sort of trying to beat around the bushes a bit. Yeah, I always say my wife Rachel always calls a spade a fucking shovel. And I think I get that impression with your stuff. You're very, this is what I've got to say. Have it.
Have it, aye. Would you like to express your sex without stress? Would you like to discover physical conversations of different kinds? Walk up to be the center of melody. It doesn't matter mythology. I see it at home on the TV screens. I read it in the magazine. Would you like to express your sex without stress? Would you like to discover physical conversations of different kinds? Would you like to express your sex without stress? Would you like to discover physical conversations of different kinds? To get what you expect, that's fidelity. Possession, bursting insecurity, solid values and stability. Does it give you a healthy personality? Would you like to express your sex without stress? I think that ties into, I mean, the punk stuff, of course, but Scottish people are like that naturally. You know, we're a bit like, take it or leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favourite punks from, I think your way was a guy called Dougal McMisteron.
All right, I've never heard of him.
There was a band called 100 Philistine Foreskins and Voice of a Misterons.
I've never heard of them, you know. I need to go check them out.
Yeah, well, interesting stuff. And yeah,
Okay.
there's something about the Scottish accent which totally suits punk, I think.
See, it's weird that you say that because I actually feel like, I think with all the anarcho bands, or at least all the big anarcho bands being English, that sort of punk style lends itself to the English accent more than the Scottish one. But maybe that's just because that's where we live. We appreciate the opposite more, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I'm really into accents in punk rock. I mean, I love the early East German punk stuff in Berlin when they were getting lots of shit by the Stasi, but still sort of doing it.
Yeah.
And the Indonesian punk scene, who sort of actually totally believe it because they get so much shit. But I mean, it's the accent that's like, fuck you, this is where we are, and this is what we're doing.
People comment on the accent quite a lot actually in making music, but I don't think I could hide my accent even if I wanted to.
No, don't. It's yours.
No.
So obviously you haven't been gigging during lockdown, apart from what you've been doing online, which has been great. But
Mhm.
what's the name of your band? Or
We're
is it-
called
sorry,
Affit.
Abbott. Yeah, that's it.
Like off it,
Yeah. Brilliant. Um,
Affit.
you do. Is it mostly Scotland you're gigging, or?
Yeah, we're actually quite new, so we'd only played maybe 3 or 4 gigs before everything went tits up. But we're really lucky. We've been like some of the gigs that we did play were like we felt like we'd skipped a few steps. Like we played our first gig without a drummer at Crammond Island. Don't know if you've heard of that, Crammond Island. It's a little island just off Edinburgh, and then once the tide comes in, you're stuck on the island all day.
Oh.
But they put on a free punks picnic there every year, so we
Fantastic.
up that. Yeah, it's really cool. If you're ever in Scotland, you should definitely come because it's a big enough island that you can like camp out for the night or weekend or whatever, you know.
I'll be on to that, blagging the gig for Activistus.
Fuck yeah. You should. There's usually quite a lot of English bands come up. We had like Roughneck Riot and was it Attercop? Yeah, we had them as well.
Brilliant. It
Yeah,
sounds great. Sounds exactly like my kind of thing.
definitely DIY as fuck.
Brilliant. Yeah, that sort of thing I like. You know, Punk for Homeless have always been known as being DIY as fuck. So,
As fuck, of course.
yeah. So you've brought out some albums on Bandcamp, is that right?
Yeah. I'm lucky that I know like the first EP I released, probably released it too early, but I have no regrets about it and refuse to delete it because I think that the progression is also important for people to see. I think maybe artists get a bit too hung up on things being perfect when they're recorded, and it might even put people off trying it themselves, you know, at least with punk music. But yeah, sorry, lost my train of thought there again. But yeah, my mate Sean, sadly doesn't run the studio anymore. He ended up stopping, but he recorded my first few EPs and basically took pennies off me just so that I could get music out. It was really good of him.
Oh, brilliant. We had something similar with Activistas. Just we finished recording our 9 songs just before lockdown.
Oh yeah.
We got given some free studio time from a place called Sid Studios, which is
Cool.
one guy, a guy called Pat Gunning, who once played bass in Spiritualized.
All right. I've heard of them, but I haven't listened to them.
Trippy stuff. But yeah, he done it for free for us.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was sitting around with 9 songs completed for about a few months, getting a lot of thinking, what the fuck am I going to do with this? Because obviously you're going to be bored shitless with the songs you of your own you've recorded. But so we put it out there anyway, and I think that was a good move. It's sold better if we'd have been gigging with it, but obviously needs must.
That's pretty much where I'm at now as well. Like I ended up getting what's it called? An audio interface. Again, I was going to buy one, but I put out the feelers on Facebook and somebody said they had one lying around. So they gave me it. It's actually Steve from The Exploited, who they're not really my bag, but you've got to appreciate what they did, you know. So he gave me an audio interface and I've been teaching myself how to record and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking about running some kind of like free demo for pals kind of thing, just to like get up and running and used to recording people. It'd be nice to give people the option to get something recorded for free since it was since it was given to me, and that made a difference. Because even getting gigs at the beginning, if you don't have any recordings at all, people are less likely to take the chance on you, you know. I think I got lucky because of how many people I knew already in the scene.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're coming into it totally blind, you might not be given the chances. So yeah.
No, I mean I've been promoting gigs for about 30 odd years.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean people used to send demo tapes or stuff through in those days. And I mean that's the only way I'd give somebody a gig, because you want to hear what they do before. So that's a great idea, to get people started.
Even if it's the recording, it's it's the basic. You just need an idea of what they're like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've put on a few gigs, but I wouldn't consider myself a promoter. It's
Well,
one of
well.
those, one of the bands will come up and be like, "Are we going yet?" And I'm like, "The stage is free, just wire in, you know, the lineup."
Yeah, yeah. So not only you are, I mean, a musician and songwriter, you're also an artist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm an artist first, I would say. Probably
Okay.
the music thing is still very new, but yeah, I paint and make clothes, and that's something I've always been into. When I was younger, I wanted to be a fashion designer, so it's pretty cool how it came full circle.
That's good. That's good because obviously you've just done the cover for Girls Are Loud Volume 2, which looks excellent, folks.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
I really
Have you got
enjoyed it.
any? Have you got any paintings kicking around we could have a look at?
Got paintings behind me. I can show you the one I've been working on today. If you want to. So I've been listening to a lot of funk music lately, and I don't know how well you can see it.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, yeah.
It's a wee like Betty Davis inspired one, and here's another one. Basically, just really trippy and
Brilliant. Well, I'm more of a jazz freak. More of a jazz fan than I am funk, but obviously Betty Davis was Miles Davis's wife, wasn't she?
yeah. There's another one.
Brilliant.
Get me to fuck.
Brilliant stuff.
But yeah, Betty Davis. I don't know. I feel like recently, I've always thought I was a bit open-minded, but more so recently, I've been really delving into genres that I thought I had no time for, and like rechecking bands that I'd already been dismissive of. You know, like I just presumed that they wouldn't be for me. Like even I've been listening to LCD Sound System, and I never gave them a chance before at all. But they've got some really good songs. Like
Yeah, I mean, because we have a very wide idea of what punk is with Punk Homeless. If somebody's punk enough to ask us for a gig, they're probably punk enough to get one.
fuck I'd say. Well, I always say to people, Talking Heads is my favourite punk band. I love Talking Heads.
But yeah, I'm into sort of everything. I mean, I like a lot of the pre-punk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm a big fan of 50s rockabilly, that kind of like Eddie Cochran,
fantastic.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
That stuff is probably what propelled the punk thing. Actually, when I was younger, I used to have a beehive every day, wear those big dresses, and that felt like the world should be in black and white.
fantastic. I love all that stuff. I mean, I love psychobilly as well.
Yeah, psychobilly broke me. That's all I listened to for like 4 years or something. I went to see I seen Frantic Flintstones and Demented Dargo and all those bands within like the same year, and that was it. It's like, oof, no other music exists.
No, it can get you like that, can't it? So I remember seeing the Meteors in '81s, playing with the Anti-Nowhere League.
Seeing them back then would have been amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I still think they're really good. Don't get me wrong. I just think that Paul is a bit of a.
You're not the first person to have said that.
I think it's just like, even though it might have been jokey, that whole only the Meteors are true psychobilly thing is just fucking unnecessary as fuck. Like, they're a really good band, but if they wanted to fight about something like that, hello, the Cramps.
Not exactly. I mean, yeah, who doesn't adore the Cramps?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were definitely first.
Sorry?
They were first, right?
Yeah, quite probably. I mean,
It's not a psychobilly band, but that's what we now know as psychobilly.
yeah. I mean, and I love sort of the '60s stuff. Like, I'm a massive Fugs fan.
Who?
The Fugs.
I've never heard of them.
They were like sort of mid '60s, but attitude was totally fucking punk rock, and you know, I think they got nicked a couple of times because they were sort of transgressed the imaginary lines, and then because of them, I found a band called David Peel and the Lower Third.
All right.
No, but David Payne and Lower East Side, sorry, and they're brilliant as well. Sort
Okay,
of
I
real
think I saw the
snotty
band.
attitude, proto punk rock.
And
Um,
there was a lot of the 60s garage band stuff. Eh? There was a band, the Pleasure Seekers. Do you ever listen to them? They're really
no.
good. A band I came across randomly on YouTube. And it was just like, fuck, aye. And it's punk as fuck.
I listen to the Sonics and stuff like that a lot.
Never heard of them.
Oh, check out the Sonics, some real 60s garage stuff. Fucking brilliant. Strychnine and Psycho are amazing songs.
Fuck, aye.
The Cramps actually covered some of the Sonic songs.
Oh, really? I've probably heard one of their songs then, because I've listened to a lot of the Cramps.
Brilliant. Yeah, good girl.
One of my favourite mushroom trips, actually, me and my pal just listened to the Cramps like the whole night and ended up like dancing about my flat in underwear and everything. It was like only the Cramps could bring out that type of behaviour. Like it was fantastic.
Yeah. I only managed to see them once, and that was Brixton Academy.
Oh, I'd love to have seen them.
Yeah, something else.
Was that back in the day?
Is there any new stuff you're really into?
Yeah, I've been listening to a band, Dry Cleaning. You listen to them?
No, I don't know them.
I don't even know where they would fall, but they're on that sort of indie punk, like they're punk, but you know, they're on that sort of like weird thing, and it's just like spoken word stuff. But yeah, it's really fucking good, really different, and when she sings, it kind of reminds me of the Cranberries. So I love her voice. I'm trying to think what else. I've been on a pure 80s thing as well, thanks to the web. So yeah, I can't think of no other bands right now, but
I don't know if you call Nurse on Duty after the web.
Yeah, I watched that back on YouTube. That was the one where they had the projector and that as well. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to up my live stream game, by the way.
Me too. I mean, I hassle people like hell to watch Punk for Homeless stuff, but just really don't really get enough time to watch everybody else's. Or
But I definitely checked them out because I remember the guitarist and the singer.
Yeah, sort of describe themselves as industrial, anarcho, noise pop.
Because the industrialist stuff, I mean, like I always liked, well, when I was younger, I always liked really weird sort of industrial metal-y bands, but I kind of moved away from all of that. And then recently, I don't know, it's like it's clicked and I get it now. I know that's all I want to listen to. It's all these mad noises and
Yeah, I've done a couple of bands like that. Spittoon were like that.
Oh yeah.
And the web, actually, there's a video up on YouTube which actually was recorded by the web for us.
Oh, okay.
And then I do another project called Eagle Spits Hex, which Gadgie fans in early years called, gave us a review, and it just said unlistenable oral atrocities, which I absolutely love, and that's on the back of my first book as well.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck aye.
Right.
That's what I hope. I hope in future, if I get reviews for gigs or stuff, just be like, this is just a pure bam dressed like punk.
Oh, I don't know if you, I mean, like Anarchist Wood, they got an amazing review. They're totally fucking slated, which is funny as fuck, which is up on their Facebook page as their header picture. And obviously, you know Alex from Punk Homeless is also in a band called Rights of Hadder.
All right, yeah. Oh, I have checked them out before because Dave Funko Punk, he did a review of them at the same time as me, so I checked them out. Good band.
Oh, good. Yeah, I occasionally write for Funko Punk. Yeah. Dave's a good chap, but
a lot of time for it.
He really sort of gave their band a rave review on our album we brought out last year, which was totally surprising.
I always get a bit worried because don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore his ruthlessness. He doesn't give a fuck, and that's why his reviews are so good. But every time he does one for me, I'm a bit like, not that they're ever bad, don't get me wrong, but like every time I'm like, oh god.
Well, Alex and a couple of more people in the band in Lots of Other. Before that was in a band called Oyster Men.
All right.
And Dave's totally fucking slated the first their album. So I'm really pleased that he likes Lots of Other.
But hey, at least he doesn't lie. That's definitely one of his best qualities. So
Yeah.
Not give a single fuck. I'm here.
Yeah, we've actually got there's 5 of us I kind of put together called Reprobate Poets.
Oh yeah.
And we're bringing a book out. Well, it should have been out about 5 years ago, but we're totally slackers. But
Oh, yeah.
Dave's in that. He's one of the reprobates in that.
Sorry, just there's something getting in my eyes. There we go.
Yeah, Dave Fungal's in that. He's got some stuff in that as well. So spoken word stuff. He's quite a sick bastard, there, Dave.
I can't believe it. His way with words is something else though. Like I won't pretend that I remember exactly, but I remember one line in particular that he wrote, and I was just like, who even talks like that? That's fantastic.
He is great. He's got a way with words, hasn't he? I love. Yeah,
I like that because he's obviously. I mean, I've never met him in person, but he's such a larger than life character that I already feel like I do in some part. Like,
yeah. Well, we're playing. We've already got a gig booked in with him next year at the station in Aston-under-Lyne, which is a fantastic venue.
I was meant to play there. I was meant to do a solo show there, but I missed the megabus, like the first megabus. And because of that, the whole 2 nights down in England was ruined.
Right.
But that's the joys of being a cheap cunt and using megabus instead of trains or whatever. So
I always do that. I always do that.
You're right. London back for £6. Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm disabled now, visually impaired, so I don't drive. So Rachel drives everywhere. But if I've got a poetry gig somewhere and she's not coming, I often. Well, I prefer to hitchhike. It's a lot easier with a white stick to get a lift. But yeah, it's usually megabus I end up getting on.
I don't mind the megabus, to be fair. I complain about it, but thank God it's there. I mean, I went to Newcastle and back for £6 as well. Pretty much anywhere. Liverpool.
Yeah, it's great.
Spending loads of money on travel, so.
Well, yeah, because I used to do a lot more punk poetry gigs than I do now. So I mean, I'd be gigging about 3 nights over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And that's really expensive to try to get around unless you use something like Megabus.
I'd say, to be honest, it's funny because I can get to London and back for about £6, but I have to go to Glasgow first, and to get to Glasgow and back, it'll cost me 20.
Tell us a little bit about your music then. What kind of noise do you make?
Music.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about your art. You can tell me how you got involved in art and what mediums and stuff you use. We're fucking arty at Punk for Homeless.
Yeah. So I guess musically, I don't know. I don't think I ever set out to be anything in particular. I just let it sort of float out. But I'm very inspired by dub, spoken word, poetry, just really on the nose lyrics and in your face, and yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, because it's pretty natural. I think everything that I sing about are just things that I would have a conversation about. So I don't know. I don't even I play guitar, but I use the term musician loosely. I batter it to get out what I have to say.
Fantastic. And look, you're quite a political animal by your lyrics and stuff.
Yeah, always been pretty political. Yeah, I think that's another thing that I have my dad to thank for, because he's heavy anarchist, I knew who Thatcher was when I was still 10, 11. Yeah, I'm just really passionate about those kind of things, and I think if I don't say it, I'm being given a platform, and it might be a small platform, but if I'm not saying it, who else around here is gonna? Because I still live in a shite wee town where nothing really happens, and it was a miners' town, so it's like poor as fuck, you know, and nobody maybe don't even have the vocabulary. I can't even talk myself. Maybe don't have the vocabulary to express what I'm saying, but feel the same way, you know.
Okay, yeah. So I take it you're impressed with the fact they're going to put a Thatcher statue up then?
Oh, Dilly. Would never even try that in Scotland. Like, oofed.
Yeah. She destroyed a lot of fucking communities.
Aye. Aye, it's like a swear word in Scotland, though, eh? Like, cunt is less offensive.
Well, it is, isn't it? Because she's neither deep nor warm. So tell us a little bit about your art, and because that was your first
Yeah, so
artistic love, wasn't it?
yeah. Yeah, art's something I've always done. When I was younger, my mum used to say, "Do you remember Program Art Attack?" Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vaguely.
When I was younger, I used to pull all the sheets and stuff off my bed and put them on the floor and tell mom I was doing a big art attack, and she used to go after he'd like I used to cut out bits of the curtains to make dresses for my dolls and stuff.
Fantastic.
Pure autism personified, but I was like so zoned in on that thing that I loved, you know. And I'm still like that. I still like I didn't paint for a lot of years, like during my teenage years. I think mental health stuff, it wasn't like a conscious choice to stop or anything. I just stopped. But when I started again, it was like something clicked and then I never stopped. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I hung up my brushes for about 10 years, and then people were hassling me to start painting again. So I did about 3 years ago. I did 2.5 paintings. But recently, I've managed to get the odd 5 minutes where I can dabble in a bit of art, and it does get that stuff out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. I feel very lucky that I now have two mediums of expressing what's going on, you know, because art gets out the sort of visual representation of what's going on in your mind, and then when you write lyrics, you're able to sometimes even tap into things that you weren't even aware were bothering you. You know, sometimes I'll write something, I'll be like, "Oof, did I think that? Holy fuck!" Like, so yeah.
Well, coming towards the end of the interview, we'll have 73 orphan girls in Sierra Leone watching. Anything you'd like to say to them?
Oh, I hope these are all okay, and I'll absolutely adore the dances that you've done. Keep watching them back. You're dance good to me. I'm so glad that I could play like a small part in helping.
Brilliant.
Well, it's like one of those things.
Well, thanks very much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
And you'll be playing later today.
Woo.
It's 1st of May, it is. Right, folks, I'm Eagle Spitz. I'm going to be cutting off, but I'm going to be hanging around for a couple of minutes to talk to Rebecca myself. So thank you, everybody, for being on.
Bye-bye.
Rebecca, for being on.
Bye, guys.